Hey guys, for today's video I decided not to do an intro and an outro just for a change, so we're just gonna dive right into this hairstyle. It's so simple. I've actually been able to do it on my hair, and my hair is shoulder length, or not shoulder length, collarbone length, and her hair is like a couple inches longer than that. So this is a great hairstyle for, if you have short hair like me. It's super simple and there's not much to do, and if I was able to do it on myself, then I'm sure you guys can too. So I'm just going to start off here with the crown section, and I'm just taking just 2 to 3 slices of hair, and I'm going to back comb it. Once I'm done with the first back comb section, I'm just going to drape it over the front of the face so that I can do the second section. And then once I'm done with the second section, I'm just going to bring both the sections back where it's supposed to go. And I made sure to kind of like span it out like a fan, kind of push it out just around the crown section, just so that it's not like sitting in one clump. And then I'm taking my comb here just to brush the very top so that you can't see the back combing. You can hairspray the sections once you've back combed it before you flip the hair back to its right place. I didn't, just because this is a mannequin head. On a real person where they're going to be moving and jumping and playing and all that stuff, definitely hairspray. Now that we are finished with the back sections, I'm just going to come to this front section and take out my face trimming hairs, and I'm not taking out very many. This is just a very simple updo, and I didn't want it to be, super complicated, so I only left out just like a few strands. And then I'm taking this square-ish section, I guess triangular-ish, I don't know, just this section that's in front of the face, and I'm doing a regular 3-strand braid. I am not doing a French braid or a Dutch braid. I'm just doing a regular braid. And I'm actually going to do that on both sides, and later we'll add it to the updo. Once I'm done braiding, I'm also going to be pulling these braids out just to make them bigger and fluffier. So the best way to make them big but also not like messy looking is to actually hairspray first, and then you go in and pull out each little loops. Sometimes I forget, so I'll actually just pull it out first and then I'll hairspray. But the best way to do it, just to make sure so that you don't have any like flyaways or just weird, little hairs that don't want to listen to you, is to hairspray first and then you go in and pull it out. The hairspray will also help hold the shape once you've pulled it out. So that's just the best way to have the desired look. While I'm finishing braiding this section and then doing the other section, I'm going to tell you why I love this hairstyle. So the reason I did this hairstyle on myself was actually because I was able to go to church prom. Just a couple of local families organized it, and they invited me, and they also invited me to invite friends. So I actually went with my friend Ava, and we both brought dates with us, and it was just so much fun. And I've actually known that I was going to go to prom for several weeks now. And I knew that I wanted to do an updo just because I like having hair out of my face. And then also just like, I like the look of updos because I just like having like the look of like face trimming hairs. And I also felt like with my bangs, updos are better than half updos. So I actually went on Pinterest, and most hairstyles don't have bangs. So that was a little bit hard, but I was able to find one that was similar to this hairstyle. And this is actually the hairstyle that I did on myself for prom. I just tweaked it just a little bit for myself just to personalize it. Yeah, but in the video, well, on Pinterest, they had a video of it, and theirs was just a little bit different. It wasn't that much different. So I was so happy that I found this hairstyle because it was really good for my bangs. Like, I was able to have my bangs and not have it look weird. And then also, I was able to do it with my collarbone length hair. And this mannequin head here, she has probably a couple, maybe like, 2 to 3 inches longer than mine, but I was definitely able to do it on myself, so you can definitely do it on you if you have, my length or even a little bit shorter. So yeah. Now that I'm done with both of the braids, I'm gonna leave those out until the very last step. So right here, I'm taking this crown section, making sure to take our previous sections that we took for backcombing, and I've just twisted it towards the right, and then I'm wrapping it towards the right as well. So yeah, as you're twisting the section, it'll naturally just curl around the middle, and that's exactly what I let it do. And then you just pin it up. So basically you have this bun, and I'm trying to keep my hairstyle nice and loose. And the reason I have wavy hair is because I want it to be a loose hairstyle and to be a textured hairstyle. I have naturally straight hair, so I actually started with wavy hair. I just braided my hair the previous night and then did some touch-ups with my iron, and then I started doing this hairstyle. So yeah, so very first step, just to pin this bun up. And I'm leaving the ends out because we're gonna add it to the second section. And with the second section, I am twisting it towards the left, and then it'll naturally curl towards the left, just around the middle. And the second section, I went from the temple till a little bit behind the ear. And then I'm doing the same thing as my first section. I just twisted it, wrapped it around until I made this like bun shape, and then I'm pinning it up, and then we just have one more section to go. So most of the hairstyle, you're actually just going to be making 3 buns. Depending on your hair length, you might need to make more or whatever you prefer. For me, 3 was the perfect number. So, and then for me, I also try to make sure to twist the hair in opposite directions, just because I didn't want them to look like I just like put 3 buns on top of each other. I wanted to be like this like semi-intricate hairstyle. I didn't want it to be like 3 buns and then I had 2 braids. So that's why I twisted the sections in opposite directions, just kind of help blend the buns together. So on the very top section, I twisted it to the right, and then second section right here, I twisted it to the left. So then on the very bottom section, I am twisting it to the right again. What's great about this hairstyle is you don't need to worry about the ends very much, because you're going to be adding it to the next section for the most part. And then once you add it to the next section, it just gets all pinned up. So with this bottom section, I am twisting it towards the right, and I'm making sure that I twist it really tight. And then because we are at the nape of the neck, we actually don't have enough room to make a bun. So I just wrapped it halfway around. So once I've twisted it, I just brought it towards the left, and then I'm bringing it almost all the way around, but I'm going to keep it towards the right. And then I'm pinning it against the head. And the reason I want it to be tight at the nape of the neck is so that it just doesn't stick out weird. Because like if you think of a Dutch braid, for that very last section where the nape of the neck is, it's always just like loose and it just doesn't look good. I mean, you have all these like baby hairs falling out. I didn't really want that to happen, so that's why I twisted it super tight. And then once I've twisted it, I just make sure to pin it to the head, like as close to the head as I can. And then I'm just gonna place the rest of the hair wherever I think it looks good. This hairstyle is also very versatile, so if you want to do, 4 buns, good for you. And you don't have to pin this very last section where I'm pinning it. This is what I thought looked good on her head. On my head, I did something similar to this. But yeah, do whatever looks good. Once I've got the 3 buns in, I'm just gonna make sure to kind of, tweak any little hairs that I want to, or also just making sure the buns are like centered, which they're slightly off-centered, but it's fine. Now that the back looks good, I'm gonna go ahead and do our last thing, which is pinning the braids up. And again, very versatile, just put it wherever you think looks good. Yeah, for my braids, the hair that I grabbed were like part of her face trimming hairs, so they were actually kind of short and they thinned out pretty fast just because they were her face trimming hairs. So the ends of the braids are pretty thin. I'm just gonna try to pull it out as much as I can, and then I'll just tuck the ends in underneath the back. And then I'm just gonna repeat on the other side, and then I'm just gonna hairspray. For these two braids, I also did think about adding them to our very first bun section, and I did actually try to do that, but they didn't lay where I wanted to be, and they kept on falling out. So I just decided that it'll be a lot easier if I could just pin it up later, and then I can make it as precise as I want. Because the entire video is me doing voiceovers, you might be hearing some background noise, so just ignore those. So now that I've done this first braid, I just went back to pancake it just a little bit, because when you pin it up, it does get messed up just a little bit, but that's a really quick and easy fix. So now I'm gonna move on to the second braid here, and I took out the bottom half of the braid just so that I can rebraid it, because it just didn't look very good. So I'm rebraiding it, and then I might pull out just a little bit later, but I found that it's a little bit easier to pin it first, just because the braid is so thin. I need to make sure that's secure, that I have enough hair to keep it secured, and then I'll go in and pull out as much as I can without it falling apart. So you just want to make sure you're being very gentle, and because these are wispies right here, and they can fall out really easily. And then I also have that very first braid laying right underneath it, so you just want to make sure you're not pulling any other hair. And then for the ends, which are even more wispies, I just like to wrap it around my finger and then take a couple bobby pins to pin it down. And then I take a third bobby pin and I grab the hair from like the bun and just lay it over. That just helps to keep it hidden. Right here I have a bobby pin, and I'm placing it right where this loop goes underneath the one that's after it. And the reason I do that is so that I can hide the bobby pin while also securing this braid against the side of this head. I like to pin it down so that it can stay where I like it. Here are the final results.